Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/spookshow. Then go over to morbidlybeautiful.com as we are now part of the Morbidly Beautiful Podcasting Network.
You see Santa Claus tonight? You better run, boy. You better run for your life.
But Mother Superior, it's Santa Claus.
Now I have another reason to hate Christmas.
Now that hell is full, I wonder where you will go.
The caller is in the house. The calls are coming from the house.
You're my family now.
But if you're bad boys and girls, your name goes in the bad boys and girls book, and I'll bring you something horrible.
Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus.
Hello and welcome back to the All-American Spookshow podcast. I'm Josh. I'm joined here with Tiana.
Hey.
And the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And it's going to be another dose of Silent Night, Deadly Night this week. Because Smoke, it was your choice, and you decided to pull the newest thing in theaters this past weekend, and it's Silent Night, Deadly Night from 2025. I say another dose because, remember, just last week, the Toy Maker.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We had our fun with drunken Mickey Rooney just last week.
Now, how many did we do Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 on the show before? Sometime in the past, right?
I think we did.
I think
so. Yeah, I think we did on. I know we have. I just can't remember where it was. I can't remember whether it was here on the show or over on YouTube.
Oh,
but we have done the second one. We definitely. I know this. We definitely did the first one, the original, on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
The second one, I don't remember whether it was podcast or YouTube. And then we did part 5 last week. So now we skipped to technically this is part 7, right? I mean, I know they're not connected.
Yeah.
This is the 7th version of this movie, right?
Yeah, because you're counting Silent Night, right? The one that was very much just in name only, sort of. Well, I mean, this one too. This one maybe has more connection to the original slightly, more so than the Silent Night one did.
Yeah, and we'll get into the big differences, in particular story wise. But like this one is closer to the original than we've gotten, at least since the second one. I would argue, right?
Oh yeah, true. That's true because part 3, 4, and 5 all diverge, into their own things for better or worse for each of those. And we just, like you said, just did the one with Mickey Rooney, the Toy Maker one, which was entertaining. Yeah. I don't even remember if I've seen the third one, and if I did, it was way back when it came out originally.
Same, and I mentioned that on that episode. I have that Vestron Blu-ray thing that I think's got 3, 4, and 5 on it.
Yeah,
I believe.
I think we got it too, right? But we've only ever watched the second one off of it. So
yeah, I haven't watched any of them off of there. And
I mean, not the second one. The second one and the second and the fifth one.
Yeah. So 3 and 4, I can guarantee have escaped me entirely. I haven't watched those. Yeah. And I struggle with whether I watched Silent Night or not. I think I did. In 2012 or whatever that was. That last remake. I think I did, but I can't say for a fact I did. If I did, it was probably in one ear, out the other kind of thing,
Yeah. I mean, I know Tiana had seen it before I'd seen it. You'd owned it already on DVD and everything. And then we watched it at some point, some years back. Right?
Last year.
It was just last year.
Is this one of the things that she brought into the marriage? Her copy of Silent Night?
Well, yeah, that was the thing when we got together. We both had different. I mean, we had some of the same, but we also had a bunch of different ones that neither of us had seen. Like hers, she's definitely got more newer ones than I had, and I had a lot of, I don't buy a whole lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of the old ones, and she also had some old ones too, or whatever. So once we had combined our collections and got rid of the stuff that we had doubles of, we have a ginormous, without even buying anymore. But we bought tons more since. We had a giant collection. I mean, both of us already had giant collections. So
that was about to be my question, because I know when my wife and I got married, or when we got married, that's when we kind of joined all the stuff together. We had some redundancies, but not a lot. I mean, like she likes the kind of stuff she likes, and I like my stuff, and we didn't have a lot of redundancies. But I would imagine since y'all both like horror so much, you probably had a lot of the same stuff.
We had a decent amount already. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So what did you do with it? I was about to say you just sold it, or you just
sold it and got store credit and bought more, probably.
Yeah.
Bought more that we didn't have.
I've done that. I've done that plenty. Boy, I wore, obviously live near Charlotte. We wore Manifest out.
Yeah.
The old
I definitely missed even I live in South Carolina. The Manifest originally started in Columbia, South Carolina. That's the one I was familiar with. Not to go off on a tangent. I'll keep it short. it was a hole in the wall of downtown Columbia, the best store ever at the time when I was a teenager. It was very much more independent than it ended up being, even though I still loved it, even up to the end, even though it was basically just a glorified FYE by the time it closed.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's who bought them out. But at any rate, yeah, I still miss them, especially the Charlotte one, because, like I said, they had the one in Columbia, and it was going good for a while. I think it might have outlasted the Charlotte one, I think Charlotte.
I don't remember. Maybe I don't remember the timing of that.
Or was it the other way around? It was the other way around. Okay, man, it's the other way around then. But yeah, the one in Charlotte definitely, because it's Charlotte and it was more metropolitan area. Columbia's metropolitan as far as South Carolina is concerned.
Yeah.
But Charlotte's much bigger, so you would find a lot more cool used stuff in Charlotte when I lived there.
Dude, I remember what you're saying. Like, once again, not a tangent, but like when FYE bought it, it was fine enough. It was just fine for what it was.
Yeah,
but you could tell instantly.
It was a catch-22.
Yeah, you could tell instantly it wasn't the same.
Yeah. It's like you're glad that it wasn't closing down, but you miss what it used to be.
Oh, I remember them flat out saying that, like, if they hadn't got bought, they were gone.
Yeah.
So like FYE did save it for a while,
For a while, yeah.
And then
at least they
eventually
keep going.
Which reminds me that yesterday we were at FYE, and I meant to tell you. Did you know they have movies again there?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have movies.
I haven't been to FYE in so damn long. It's at Concord Mills, right? Up in okay,
right by the AMC over there.
Yeah,
right by the.
Yeah, I haven't been there in so long. Honestly, I didn't even know it was still there. I knew that there was one there in the past, but I didn't know that it was still there. So that's a surprise to me.
Yep.
At some point,
it's been a while since we had been in that mall as well. The last time we were there, we didn't really. I don't know if we really had time to go to any stores. And we saw 7. Yeah, we did go to FYE that time too.
But they had a lot more like anime stuff in the mall, and then now they brought back the movies again.
Yeah, well, that's what's for people that buy that kind of thing. It still sells.
Yeah.
You know, I
was kind of surprised to see it come back because usually it just goes away because they're downside. They're just pushing streaming more, so people are buying less.
Like I said, I stopped short of saying, physical media in general, people are buying it in droves, but people that buy it are still buying it. That's what's
people that buy it are buying it.
Yeah, that's what's keeping it afloat.
That, and unfortunately, you get all the damn, all the assholes out there that buy them up.
Yeah,
because they know that they aren't pressing it up as many as they used to, so they buy them all up and then resell them, of course, at crazy prices.
And that might be a little addition to what we just had the little conversation last week about the Netflix merger and all that crap of Warner Brothers and all that, right?
Oh, yeah.
This kind of ties into that little discussion that we had in the sense of like, I do think that there will be a certain sect of people, maybe a little bit more people, that will start buying more physical media because of that kind of stuff. Because you'd be like, well, shit, now if Netflix is controlling all the shit they already control, and now this, what's to stop them from just ripping it away from you? So if you want a copy of this, you better go buy it, kind of thing, So there'll be a lot of people that will do that, I think.
I think I heard that Warner Brothers, those movies that they've been, actually bringing out and stuff, the physical media, that will be all right for 5 years because they have a contract.
Yeah, all these things we talk about.
Then that'll be all right for a little while. Anyway.
Yeah, all these things that we talk about, and that should be a nice point there, is that like all these things are far off. It's going to take a while for it to be approved, and then they're not going to want to mess with it for a while. So, come talk to me again in 2030 or something. We'll see what the world is like. It's going to take a while, but
by that time I'm going to be like, I'm done. I'm throwing everything away except my VHS player, my tapes.
Yeah. I still got the working. I still got the working CED player, so we're safe.
Yeah,
it's over here. I know it works. We're good. Anyways, back to Silent Night, Deadly Night. So, the little bit of background. Obviously, this was a new debut, so I don't, none of us have seen this. All we're drawing off of is what we've seen from the other installations over the years, right? This actually debuted September 21st of this year at Fantastic Fest, and I believe I saw where it was like a surprise screening. Like, I think they do that at Fantastic Fest, where like you kind of just show up, and you don't know what you're going to be watching, and then boom, here you go. And I think it was one. I don't know what the reception was at that time. I never really read any reviews because I didn't, I try to stay away from Word on the Street as best you can. So I don't know how it was received at that point, but it did debut there. And then it was released this past Friday officially here in the U.S., which was December 12th of 2025. This movie was produced by Bloody Disgusting, Wonder Wheel Entertainment, New Dimension, Rebel Six Films, White Bear Films, and Studio Canal, and it was distributed by Cineverse. Now, this is the same. That means it has the same DNA or the same somewhere in there. It's coded the same as Terrifier, right? Because didn't Cineverse and Bloody Disgusting and all that put at least the last 2 Terrifier movies out? I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
So it is part of that umbrella, that family, so to speak.
Yeah.
Different people, but yeah. I did find this funny that this movie, and I'm guessing this is because this was a slightly, I guess it was released like Terrifier 2 and 3 were, and that it didn't go through MPAA ratings. So this movie does not have a rating. But it does have a TV rating. It's rated TVMA. I don't know why the hell. I don't know how
it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I don't know why they would submit it on some level to that, but not the MPAA.
Yeah, I guess maybe they have to. I mean, the TV is that like what about when you're on Shudder or when you're on Netflix? Do they have to have a TV rating on there?
If they don't have, I could be wrong. I don't think so. I think they kind of govern themselves. I believe.
Okay, so yeah, then I don't know why the hell you would get a TV rating then.
So does have that, even though it's a movie.
Well, you talk about like when you're watching something on streaming, you'll see it. It'll say,
yeah,
because we've joked about that before. Netflix always says gore, violence, sexual nature, smoking.
Yeah.
It's like one of these things isn't quite like the other, but all right.
Yeah. Although these days they have kind of made. Remember, I don't know what the truth of this is, but I don't know. There's a certain amount of scenes of cigarette smoking. It could get your movie an R rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know how many scenes of cigarette smoking. If it's just 1, 2, 3, or what. But I mean, apparently because just the stigma on, of course, on cigarette smoking now versus what it was.
Meanwhile, I'm old enough to remember cigarette commercials. So
yeah, and smoke.
Smoking in movies.
This is neither here nor there. I didn't work there. I didn't work at the station at the time, and I guess neither did you because I don't know when this happened. But you probably heard the stories. This is TV station stories or whatever of smoking in the control room.
Oh yeah.
Smoking in the control room, ashtrays on top of the stuff and all.
Yep. I've heard stories of that and drinking. Like
I wasn't going to bring up the drinking, but you did,
but pretty widely accepted. Not maybe it was generally frowned upon and it wasn't wide open, but people were doing it, kind of thing. Yeah.
Because I remember somebody telling me about having their drinking I'm not going to name names because some people
don't do that. Yeah.
Listening to this will know because whatever, but had to drink down there and then somebody kicked it over and it started this whole Dave, you knocked my beer over or whatever kind of thing.
But yeah, dude, I can tell you even as a video editor and I see old archive video and stuff, you can just look in the background. It can be a story about a hospital. And you look at, like, say from 1982, I don't know, just name a year from the 80s. Look in the background, everybody's smoking.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just everybody. There might even be a 7-year-old over there. Can I have a toke? Like they're just smoking left. It was just so wide, that I guess it was sometime in the 80s that it, everybody's like, okay, well, the Surgeon General crap and all that. And then it slowly eroded over the years. But I'm telling you, like, there was a time frame where it seemed like everybody was smoking.
Yeah. And you could just buy, like, my mom would send me to the gas. We had a gas station behind our house or whatever, right? Send me to the gas station to get cigarettes for or whatever. And they'd sell them to me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure I remember things like that. Like, mom pulling up, like, here's $5, go get me a pack. And you could just go in there and get So yeah. Anyways, back to Silent Night. I don't know how the hell we got off on that tangent.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I forget. The rating. The
rating.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently this has no rating, but it's rated TVMA. Oddly, and I was even wondering about the TV rating. So like, I didn't know. Once again, I didn't look up much before I went and saw this. I didn't realize that this was like a limited playing kind of thing, kind of like some Terrifier was in a way. I mean, the numbers from this weekend tell the tale. It only played in, which for this kind of movie is kind of big, but not wide. It only played in 1,640 theaters in the country. Which, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies of the top 10 played in way more theaters from this past weekend. So it did not get a wide. It's almost like in this weird like space between a Fathom event and a wide release. That's kind of what this is. It's like, I guess even in Charlotte, I can tell you, I told y'all, or messaged y'all that like, I think maybe 3 or 4 theaters in the Charlotte area were playing this movie. And even then, it was limited times.
It had like what, 2 screenings?
Yeah, I saw it at an AMC, and it had 2 shows. I think one other Regal that I saw had 1 show, and then the other one had 2 shows, and that was it. So it's like I said, it's kind of in that weird nether region of a Fathom event and a wide release. So it's kind of odd that way. The total runtime is 1 hour and 36 minutes. Of course, on IMDb, it's listed as a holiday horror. This movie was filmed in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and that surrounding area. This past April to August of 2025. It was directed and written by Mike P. Nelson, who hasn't done a whole hell of a lot, but what he has done, I mean, I think he's made a little bit of a mark. I mean, he did a movie called The Domestics, which I haven't seen. I think that's a new release as well, or a newer release. He did the one of the remakes of Wrong Turn in 2021. He did that one. And then he did one of the segments on VHS 85 as well. And he's done a few other things. But yeah, so I guess really the main thing that most people would probably know him from would be that remake of Wrong Turn, right?
Yeah, I can't even remember if I saw it. I don't know. I don't remember now.
The new Wrong Turn?
Well, I guess there's so many Wrong Turns, right? How many Wrong Turns sequels were there? Yeah. Oh, okay. So.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of those.
Yeah, and I know I saw the first 2 at least. Those 2. So that's another.
It seems like they made at least 5 or 6 of them, and then that remake.
Yeah.
It's a lot because most of them were like straight to DVD type shit. But yeah.
Yeah.
And you remember the premise of the original was like Wrong Turn in the Woods, and there's like inbred hillbilly kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember maybe it was the second one that was kind of cool because it had a lot of gore, but there was like it almost had a found footage, like there was cameras set up for them to capture stuff, right?
Yeah.
Out in the woods and whatnot.
Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins was in it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that one. That's the only besides the first one. That's the only one I remember.
You just brought the crap quotient up or down, however you want to look at it. Henry Rollins. But I remember the premise of that one being like kind of the inbred hillbilly redneck kind of thing. Like you took a wrong turn, we
like
got
Hills
you.
Have Eyes.
Basically. Yeah. But this remake that Mike P. Nelson did was more of a. There was a weird, like kind of a weird mountain cult.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Now I do remember.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing that.
It was a totally different. Like once you got there, you're like, oh wait a minute, this isn't the same thing. Not in a bad way. I remember like enjoying it enough, but it was different. You know, I guess in a lot of ways, kind of like this, right? Like it's very similar to Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original, but different. And we'll talk about the biggest difference, right? Like, it's like
it's
what
like
the fuck?
well, like we were saying, it's a lot more similar than the Silent Night from 2012 was, I guess, as far as the characters being the same names and similar situations and working at a store and all this stuff, whatnot.
And there's a lot of nods too, and we'll get into those. But it stars Rohan Campbell as Billy. Most people listening would probably know him best from Halloween Ends, the much beloved Corey Cunningham.
Or as I like to call him.
Well, I think
Cunningham.
But I think they even said that in the movie, right? Didn't they call him?
Oh, did they?
I think they did.
I don't know, but anytime I hear that name, no offense to any Cunninghams out there, but anytime I hear that name, I always pronounce it Cunningham because of Christine.
Thanks. We just lost our Cunningham demographic.
Well, the Cunningham clique is gone now.
Yes, shit. First, what was the country that we made fun of and then we lost them? It was Australia or something. I don't know. There was some country that was the joke. It was a joke. Like we made some kind of comment and then like, well, we just lost Australia. So now we've lost.
Trying to do an accent. Or something.
Maybe we just lost Australia and the Cunninghams. But anyways, he was in Halloween Ends. He was also in, and I don't remember this, but I really don't recall this at all. And I watched it not too awfully long ago, within the last few months. He was in The Monkey.
Oh yeah, he was that punk kid or the metal kid.
See,
that goes to the yard sale and buys.
Yeah. Boy, I didn't catch that, or at least I didn't.
You can't really recognize him, but yeah.
Yeah. Now I get it. Yeah, okay. Well, when I saw that, I was like, I don't remember him in that, but now there you go. Ruby Modine as Pam, the love interest in the movie. She is actor Matthew Modine's daughter, if you didn't know that. She would best be known in our circles from Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. Remember the sequel to that. and she was also in a bunch of episodes of that series on, I think it was on Showtime back in the day, called Shameless. And
okay.
and another movie that we've talked about a number of times because of the funny Walmart copy of it, Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
She was in that. Remember the Walmart copy just said, I think it just said Panic.
Panic.
Yeah.
Panic. Yeah.
It had the same font, but it just said Panic instead of they just took.
Well, at least Walmart is consistent because they called A Christmas Story a holiday story.
Yeah.
We don't want to offend the Satanists or the Christians.
Yeah, well, equal opportunity unoffender. Walmart. That's their new slogan. Mark Atchison as Charlie. He's the shotgun Santa at the beginning of the movie, which we'll get into in a second. That is the voice throughout the movie. I'll just say the voice for now because we'll explain it in a second. But yeah, that's Mark Atchison. He's been in a ton of stuff, like 100 and something credits on IMDb. But the main event ones are like small character roles in Elf, The Chronicles of Riddick, and tons of television shows. So he's just one of those kind of here and there everywhere for the last. Dude, honestly, I think like since the 70s, Mark Atchison's been in stuff. It's been a long time he's been in stuff. So, those are your main players. I mean, obviously there's a few other, but I'm kind of surprised as I was watching the movie. I was kind of surprised there was no like little, hey, look, there's Kane Hodder or something like that. There was none of that kind
cameos,
of stuff. Yeah,
movie horror icon cameos. Yeah,
there was nothing like that. At least nothing that I caught. Somebody listening might be
eggs, right?
Yeah. Somebody listening might be. You don't remember the third guy from the left? No, I don't. But I didn't catch anything like that. So yeah, there's that. Did y'all have anything else you wanted to point out before we get into it?
Not from that point.
I don't, obviously, because I just saw it in the theater as we're recording last night. So I don't really remember everything blow for blow. But essentially, the setup is very similar to the original. The original. In that movie, Billy and his parents go and visit his grandpa, and
one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yeah, in the old folks' home, and then the grandpa's like, "You see Santa Claus tonight." It's in our little opening during the Christmas time. You better run, boy. Now they did something similar to that here, but Grandpa wasn't like all crazy. Except this time, Grandpa just starts choking and stands up and starts vomiting blood. Yeah. And then like cut to them in the car going down the road, and Billy's like, "Is Grandpa going to be all right?" No, he's dead. So it's almost like, if you think about, if you're just comparing the two movies, it's almost like, well, that movie fucked him up because Grandpa just told him Santa Claus was going to kill his ass.
Yeah.
In this movie,
and this one it's like,
it's like, well, his parents just fucked him up because it seems like he actually and genuinely cares about his grandpa's. Oh no, your grandpa's dead. What the fuck?
You see your kids tonight, Grandpa. You better run. You better run for your no.
You better run for your life.
We haven't gotten that part yet, but we'll get to the spoiler. By the way, we didn't say that, but yeah, definitely spoiling the shit.
Oh yeah. But yeah. We haven't really spoiled much of anything yet, so yeah, that's a good point.
Not yet.
We are a spoiler-filled podcast, so if you have not seen this new one, which there's a good chance you have not, you might want to pause this and come back to us. By the way, I should swing back around real quick before we get any deeper into it and mention also, this did not do that well this weekend. It came in number 12 in the box office, and it only made 1.1 million. Now, some of that limited play might have to do with that, but I guess considering that, it did well enough, but not great. So it keeps up the tradition of Silent Night, Deadly Night movies not doing extremely well. Although that first one, you remember, it did really good that first week, and then
until it got pulled,
and then it got pulled, and then like the rest is history.
Then it got protested.
So
it got protested the hell out of the second time it got tried to get released.
You would think then it would have done a lot better than it did eventually if it had just stayed there, But because remember we pointed out too, that came out around the same time as the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and that week it beat it. That 1 week that it played, it beat it, and then it left.
It's just that it pissed off all the wrong people, all the parents groups and stuff got out there, and mainly because of the commercials that were airing. They're just trailers. I mean, there's no real gore in it, but it had what they saw as Santa Claus carrying an axe. Of course, it's Billy carrying the axe, but whatever. Parents would see it as, and the kids, they were arguing, would see it as Santa Claus carrying this axe about to murder some people, whatever. They were putting the trailer in a bunch of various things. Like I don't know if it was in necessarily kids programming, but it was in programming they were watching on TV that the kids were also watching. So
Yeah.
I think that's where it like fucked them because Christmas Evil and some other ones came out before this and had no hubbub about it at all, no protests or anything because they weren't running trailers that widely for it.
That and they had Mickey Rooney against them.
Yeah.
You don't ever piss off Mickey Rooney. I think that's what the conclusion we should come to the last couple of weeks.
Right. He will talk shit about your movie and then come back though for the sequel sometime later down the
road. He'll need money in a few years and then he'll swing around.
If you do enough sequels, he'll be in one of them.
But the rest of the top 10 in the box office this past weekend, this is funny because, what we just said, this movie comes out brand new and it's number 12. Number 10, the 2025 re-release of The Shining.
I knew it was going to be. That's what we watched before.
See, we saw that before.
There you go.
Now talk about. I don't want to give too much away here, but that's kind of like going from the top of the heap of horror movies to it's garbage day. Oh wait,
hey, you got that line. You got that line in the movie too. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah. They put that.
They
slid that one in there.
By the way, I saw it in. I wouldn't say it was a packed theater, but it was a pretty full theater. Like there was only a few seats empty. But it was in a smaller house, so it's all relative, right? Me, when he said the garbage day line, me and the guy 2 seats down from me went, huh. So I was like, yeah, all right, at least somebody else recognized it.
He recognized what was funny.
Yeah.
He wasn't too enthused about it.
No, he's just like, recognized it. He just kind of got a light chuckle out of it, but yeah, at least he recognized it. But anyways, The Shining re-release got 1.5 million, so it just beat out this new release. Number 9.
And by the way, that thing was awesome in IMAX. The sound quality.
I was about to say, because I've been seeing some stuff like that seems awesome, and I really wanted to see that. Is that just a one? Is it already in and out, or is it?
No, I think it's this whole week.
Yeah, you might be able to see it if you got time.
I was about to say that I might try to sneak out and go see that.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it for that IMAX. We saw it in the theater, not IMAX, sometime back, whatever. And that was fine. That was great. But it definitely, the experience with IMAX, and it's just because of the sound quality. You know what I mean? You know how that is. The sound. I mean, the sound is phenomenal on that thing. And the sound cues in The Shining sound so much better.
Yeah.
When they're on the proper system like that. So.
Yeah, I need to check that out. And I need to do it fast because next weekend, a nuclear bomb called Avatar is about to come out.
Oh, shit. That's already coming out.
Yeah, next Friday. So, in other words, fuck the world on anything else for the next week or two. Like Avatar.
I feel sorry for any movie that opens with it. I don't think anybody would be that. I think anybody that saw that coming would be like, nah, we're going to hold this.
You would think you would be right, but I think I saw where there's something else. And I'm blanking on what it is. I think it's a kid's movie, but which those are usually, they do what they do anyway. So they probably won't kill it, but I'm blanking on what it is. Anyways, the rest of the top 10, we've got number 9, Eternity. Number 8, another re-release, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You know, the Jim Carrey 2000.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that came out already?
Yep.
We're going to see that.
Okay.
It made 1.8 million. So 2 re-releases so far have smoked this movie. The other new release, or I guess I should say the biggest new release this week, coming in at number 7 was a movie called Ella McKay. That's from Disney. Number 6, these are all movies that have been out for a few weeks. Jujutsu Kaisen Execution, that's anime, I assume, right?
Yeah.
I saw it. It's a out show.
Oh, so I'm assuming it was good, or?
Oh, yeah. Well, all this is, season 3 is coming up soon.
Huh.
So all it is just like the best battles of season 1 and 2 it shows. And then it showed the first episode of season 3 before it comes out in January.
Well, there you go.
And even though that's all it is, it's sold out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it came in number 6 and it made 2.1 million. And so far, after 2 weeks, it's made $14.5 million. So that's pretty damn good for a best of compilation and a new episode, right? Not bad. Number 5, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I think that's the 3rd or 4th of that line of movies. Number 4, Durandar. It looks like, I guess it's a Hindi movie. Durandar. Number 3, Wicked for Good. That's in its 4th week. Still doing well. Number 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. You know, I still have not seen the first one.
No,
I like it. A lot of people didn't like the second one.
I look at it to me like if you're a horror hound like we are, I guess, kind of thing, like you're either going to appreciate that kind of thing or not. But to me, it always feels like it's entry level horror type stuff, right? Like
It's good.
You know?
It's good, like to introduce kids to.
That's what I mean.
Stuff.
Like some like entry level, like the games or something. Where it's like this ain't Freddy or Jason, but some stuff happens, so it can kind of get you into it. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not going to be like, "Hey, kid, let's sit down and watch Cannibal Holocaust." No, it's not quite good.
Yeah, I don't think your gateway horror is Cannibal Holocaust mode.
No.
Anyways, that was number 2, and then number 1 in the box office for the 3rd straight week, I believe, Zootopia 2.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, we need to go. I've been wanting to take my daughter at least to go see that. So at some point. But like I said, Avatar's coming, so fuck the world.
Avatar and SpongeBob.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's opening with it.
Yeah. They're both opening.
Well, I guess they just figured SpongeBob. I guess we're just gonna ride the tide here.
Well, I mean, they're probably looking at it like well, not how many kids are going to go want to see that Avatar movie.
Yeah.
God knows what. It's probably 5.5 hours long, right? How long is it? Probably long as shit.
Probably like 3 hours.
Yeah, so like we don't have the patience to sit our kids through that, so let's just take them to SpongeBob, something.
Yeah.
Plus, you got Christmas.
Yeah.
The following week, right? So, what big Christmas movies are there this year? I haven't really looked. I mean, usually there's a couple of big releases on Christmas Day, right? Like,
was it Last Christmas Nosferatu?
Yeah,
that was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Christmas. I don't know what this is. I haven't really heard them.
There's a couple.
I know they announced some.
Nothing like.
None of them were Christmas related, right?
No.
Here we go. I've got the release calendar up right now. So you were right. Avatar and the SpongeBob movie. That's the big ones next week. And then on Christmas Eve, The Sweet Avenger. I don't know what the fuck that is. And then on Christmas Day, you've got Song Sung Blue.
Oh, Anaconda.
Yep. Anaconda with Jack Black. It's the comedy spin on Anaconda, which I guess the original was a comedy, depending on how you want to look at it.
This one is what? This one's goes down the meta horror thing, I guess. The meta horror hole.
I think it's more, honestly, I don't even know how much horror element there is in this. The way it looks to me is they're playing it more like action comedy.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
Well, it's like they're shooting Anaconda remake, right?
Yeah.
As they're shooting the Anaconda remake. Kind of like that movie within the movie thing.
From what I can tell, that looks like the big stuff. So like I said, it looks like everything's kind of been cleared out for Avatar is what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to fuck with that beast.
No.
Can't blame them.
I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. No.
So anyways, back to Silent Night Deadly. That seems to be the theme here. We're getting way off track. So yeah, the comparison there in the original movie to this is like in that one, he is pulled over on the side of the road, or him and his parents are pulled over on the side of the road, and then the dad is shot and the mom is raped and shot, right? If I'm remembering correctly in the original.
Yeah, the original one?
Yeah. So, but Billy is a kid and he witnesses all this. So his grandpa just told him Santa Claus is going to kill you. And then he sees his parents brutally raped and murdered.
Raped and murdered.
and then he's put into a convent. What is that? Like an orphanage with nuns.
Oh yeah.
And then Mother Superior and all that shit. And she beats the shit out of him and treats him like crap. So like you can see where the crazy is born in that one. This one, okay, because I think to talk about this in the direct way, you have to just kind of spill the beans as to what's going on here. Because throughout the course of the movie, you eventually find out what happened because they do it in clips and spurts throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like his origin is kind of spliced together throughout the movie. But what happens is same setup, visits his grandpa, leaves. So apparently the grandpa dies. This guy pulls up behind them, dressed like Santa Claus. The dad gets out because he bumps into him. The dad gets out. Santa Claus blows his dad's head off with a shotgun. Then he comes up to the car and points the gun in at the mom. She sticks him in the neck with her heel, right? Her high heel, I believe is what happened there.
Yeah.
And then he blows her head off with a shotgun. Mm-hmm. So his parents are dead. And then the guy falls back. The guy dressed like Santa falls back on the ground, dying, because he just got stuck in the throat with a high heel. And Billy walks up and touches his hand. Now, what happens in this moment when they touch hands is apparently he is possessed. The spirit, the spirit of the serial killer goes into Billy.
Although, I mean, you don't really. I guess you realize that later.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of told it all at once because I think that that makes for better storytelling for us.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Like you learn this in drips and drabs throughout the movie. But
yeah.
For a little while, you think the axe is goddamn talking to him.
It's refreshment time, and our refreshment stand is loaded with good things to eat. There's crispy, crunchy popcorn, and hot, delicious buttered popcorn. Lots of candy, and frosty, refreshing cold drinks. Why not treat yourself at the refreshment center now?
You know, I was thinking, I mean, I think I figured it out pretty quick. Like, maybe not the possession, maybe not the possession thing, but like I thought that maybe he maybe for some reason he got some obsession with this guy. Mm-hmm. You know, he's so scarred and traumatized by the event that like this guy kind of lives rent free in his head, kind of thing.
Yeah. So
the voice that he hears is himself, but you know, it just sounds like this guy that did this to his parents. But no, that's not what this is. He is possessed by this motherfucker.
Yeah, it goes straight for the supernatural. Although, like I said, you don't know that yet at this point. You realize it later on.
Yeah, it takes you 90% of the movie to figure that out. Like, oh shit, he's actually possessed.
Yeah, because otherwise you just think he's schizophrenic or whatever. You know, he's schizophrenic sociopath or something. Thought you hear voices in his head, kind of thing.
So throughout the movie, really though, like, I guess the main difference here is like, so in that original, Billy gets a job right at like a toy store, which is a big mistake. Wears the Santa outfit, and now all the trauma comes back, and he just he flips and then just starts killing people. Right? I remember the naughty and nice thing, but it was there really was no to an extent. There kind of was rhyme and reason, but not really. Right? In that original,
it is sort of in the way that all 80s slasher movies were. In some respects, you could say that they're kind of, they play on like conservative things of like teenagers having sex, they get killed. Teenagers smoking weed or doing whatever drug, they get killed. You know, this kind of, a moralizing kind of thing or whatever. So in that, it kind of follows that. But on top of it, you have the naughty and punish, themes.
Naughty, punish.
The school he went to with the nuns.
Yeah.
So you get the serial killer Santa, well, not serial killer, but whatever he was, the Santa that knocked off his dad, raped the mom, and all that. He's got that trauma, plus the trauma
Grandpa
at the nun, the nunnery,
yeah,
the convent.
Grandpa, and then the orphanage, like the mother superior and all that shit, just beating the shit out of him and punishing him for everything. Yeah, so like he's just all kinds of fucked up. And then
so then he snaps when
Santa,
and then
and in this one though, it's kind of like he has a moral compass in some ways with this nut in his head, right? He's possessed by this guy. So once again, as you go along throughout the movie, you find this guy that's in his head actually can it's almost like a radar for bad people, right? That's kind of like, oh, this dude's a piece of shit. He's done this thing. You need to go kill him.
And you're supposed to figure, I guess, that this guy, that the voice in his head. I mean, eventually you find out that he's the one that I guess leads them to them, like it's not like
it's
because he doesn't know some of these people from anywhere or anyone, but he gets led there by, for some reason, the voice in his head knows psychically, I guess.
Like really, no, like so much so where you fast forward towards the end where they're hiding in that ball pit.
Yeah,
and he's the dude's over
GPS,
there.
He got GPS coordinates to these people.
Yeah, he's right there, and oh, by the way, he's on top of her. Like how? Like. I know it's supernatural and you don't question it too much, but how? But yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's like from point to point, he takes up root in this town, takes a job with this family, this girl and her dad, falls in love with the girl, and then like throughout the movie, he kind of just randomly puts on the Santa suit and goes and kills these people for various reasons, right? Like that you find out later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, once I realized that was what was going on, then I figured out the twist pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The twist from the beginning of the movie that involved the granddad. I figured something was up with that.
I didn't even think. Yeah, I mean, obviously, looking back on it now, and then they tell you what happened. I didn't even think about it. I was like, "Well, that's kind of weird," and then I just moved on.
I just figured it because they were making it different than the first movie because they're making him kill these, these repugnant or whatever you want to call it, people or whatever, whatever the case. It's different. Well, the first movie is because they're moralizing. It's like like I said, like any slasher movie, he's killing. Well, there were some things that people did to him, right? That he killed them because they were bullying him in the store or whatever. Like the one guy, with the girl, the girl that that he thought she was getting raped by him, right? Like, she kind of was, right? That one scene where he choked the guy with the lights, right, and strung him up and all that. So there was some moralizing that way where he's killing somebody who kind of deserves it. That kind of guy. He was a sleazeball. Oh, I mean, well, in the sense of a slasher movie.
In this one though, throughout the movie, you don't know that these people deserve it.
No, not at first, but once it's real,
it seems kind of random. Like, why the fuck is he killing this? Like the old guy in the house when he hit the axe in his head. You're like, why the fuck would he just go in there?
Oh yeah.
Why would he kill him?
But jealous at first, or that's what you.
Oh wait,
yeah.
You talking about the old movie?
The first, basically the first kill in the town when he goes to the old man's house and the dude's sitting there watching TV and puts an axe in his head. You're like, why the fuck did he kill that guy? Well, later on in the movie, you realize. He killed his wife. Killed his
wife, and she's in the basement.
Yeah, and her body's in the basement. He meets the woman at the hockey game, and then goes to her house. Now that turns into a whole damn thing, right? But because you think like, well, he's going to kill her, but why is he going to kill her? Well, then you find out, like she's part of the Nazi party or whatever the hell's going on out there. One by one, like it's like that. It's like, well, why the fuck? Okay, you realize throughout why. I just find it. Well, I guess in the end, you realize that this guy that's living in his head, apparently, this instinct must have been passed to him some way, right? Because what ends up happening in the end is he passes it to the girl that he falls in love with, right? Like he's dying. And then grab my hand, and then passes it to her, and then now I guess now she's if they want to continue this, who knows? I doubt it.
Oh yeah. Passes to again the supernatural.
Yeah,
I don't know why I don't know. The only reason I can think of why they went the supernatural angle is so they could do all the things that they did to make him be the good guy, so to speak.
Yeah.
He's
the superhero.
The superhero, kind of like it's like Dexter meets
Venom.
Venom. There's a little bit of Venom because of the voice.
I don't know if Josh has seen it. I know you haven't seen it. Fatality.
What?
Fatality, the
Frailty?
movie. I mean, Frailty, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I have, but I have seen that, but it's been a long time ago. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Exactly what that came from.
Also, Unbreakable. There's a little bit of Unbreakable in there with them leading to the bad guy thing and all.
Well, there's definitely the Venom thing is definitely there. Though the way he interacts with the voice,
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up! I'm telling you, this ain't good, kid. Like the whole movie, like it's Venom. You could definitely see that.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that was an annoying thing for me. That was one of the many annoying things, but it was I guess. Well, first of all, the whole supernatural angle. I know they're trying to be different, and that's why I guess they went that way to make it different. But I was not a fan of the supernatural angle.
I'm fine with it in the sense that, like, at least they tried something different to make it just not a straight up shot for shot remake of the first fucking movie. I'm okay with that.
But I would have been better if they had just not done the supernatural part, just had him be like I was saying before, like a schizophrenic, psychopath, sociopath kind of thing. Yeah. The voices aren't even really real supernatural voices, but in his head kind of thing.
The clever the clever twist could have been everything that they did, except there was no supernatural. Like, this dude was fucking loony. Like, that could have been the better twist in the end, right? Instead of him just shaking her hand and passing it on.
Well, that's still not even the twist.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the twist, though. You're talking about with the grandfather thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was that. We haven't got to that part quite yet, but I mean, we might as well talk about
it. So that the reason that Grandpa just started randomly vomiting was because his parents poisoned him. Right?
Yeah, and so it turns out that the parents were bad, so that's why whatever this Charlie, that Santa, or whatever
Charlie,
he was,
Charlie,
the reason why he was killing them was because they were bad and poisoned the grandfather.
Yep.
And that's the part I was talking about. I guess not that I guess it the way they did it or way they poisoned it. I guess that they were bad in some way, and that's why they were killed. Not like it was in the first movie where this random Santa person was just a piece of shit and killed the father and raped and killed the mother. You know what I mean? And that's where the trauma came from for Billy. This one is no, that guy was actually the good guy. The parents were the bad guys who killed the grandfather. Now Billy is not necessarily. I mean, he's traumatized. I'm sure, still kind of, sort of, but I mean, he's
a little bit.
He's also given the supernatural powers of this.
Yeah.
Whatever he is, whatever the Santa killer guy was,
So maybe not that I'm asking for it. I'm not. But maybe there's a prequel somewhere here. You could. I mean, you could. If you wanted to go there, you could make a prequel out of this, and you can make a sequel out of this. If you
know what,
to.
I think it's really Kris Kringle.
Yeah,
he passes murderous Kris Kringle powers on the.
Yeah. But you do get some pretty good gore and some inventive kills along the way, and then you get the one big scene in the which I guess is the viral scene, right, of the Nazi Christmas party, whatever the fuck that is, what they walk into. Like that to me seems so weird. Like not even forced, like you could say like, well, this is what it's trying to symbolize. It just kind of like didn't fit.
Because this is what the corporation's putting in the movies now.
Well, I can see it's their politics being worn on the sleeve.
I guess maybe, but like, look, it's like I look at it like this. You remember the Blues Brothers, the Illinois Nazis.
Wait, which one? You talking about the original Blues Brothers?
Yeah, the original. Remember there was Illinois Nazis, right? Now we got Minnesota Nazis. This is what. So they were just trying to give us the Minnesota chapter of. It's just weird.
Well, the way I see it, and it's not to go down the political thing or anything too far, but I mean, it's really when you think about who writes the movies. If you're talking about from the liberal standpoint, which is generally what gravitates towards the arts and film and all this. Like to me, this is just my own critique of it or whatever. Anytime I see Nazis used in modern cinema, they're always cartoonish. I mean, to the point of just like ridiculousness. And to me, it's like just a projection of Republicans in general. That's what
maybe. I mean, I think that depends on how you want to see it too. I mean, if you can see it that way or you can see it the other way. This seemed a little bit like cartoony is a good way to look at it. It did feel that way. All of a sudden, it felt like Elsa, She-Wolf of the SS.
I was about to say the scene with the woman, and then the behead. Well, we didn't really say this kill.
Oh,
I mean, we already spoiled it, but there's another correlation to the original one. The original one, the sled down the hill, the guy gets decapitated on the sled. This one, it's Elsa, She-Wolf of the SS.
Yeah.
Not really, but
I mean,
Nazi
like the whole
woman
scene,
or whatever.
It is what it is, right? But the gore-wise in the whole scene, it's pretty good. People are getting mowed down. I mean, he comes in with an axe and just starts wailing on people, cutting off limbs, getting them in the back, in the head, everything.
Oh, the intestines part, that was pretty.
Yeah, that was like
splattery. That part
catches the dude in the
stomach,
stomach, turns around,
him out or whatever.
And then the leader woman, she comes back in with an Uzi or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah.
And then manages, best I can tell, to shoot him one time in the leg. Meanwhile, she mows down all of her compadres, like just. By the way, everybody's checking guns at the door.
Oh yeah.
And of course, now they explain it off like he walks up with the axe and takes out the dude at the door who's in charge of the guns. So that's why there's no guns inside there, right? They have to check them in the door. That's how they explain it off. They check him at the door. And nobody in there has it, and he locks the door. But you would think if one woman is able to get out there and get a gun and come back in, somebody else would be able to, right?
Yeah. Well, also just the fact that guy, they trust this guy with the gun. He's probably, you would think if you're being logical about this, that you see somebody walking up with an axe, they're not there for, they're not there for the party. He's dressed in the Santa Claus costume with an axe, and he's not there to chit chat with you. He's probably going to try to swing that axe into your belly, which is what he does right in front of you. as you just sit there and watch it, and don't even try to defend it
And
against
you
it.
already saw him leave and come back.
Yeah.
There.
So I mean, yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
They
it's
didn't
over
think
the
about
top.
that type of stuff or anything.
But it's over the
But-
top, and I think it's meant to be. I think it's just meant to
Oh,
be.
I just think it's weird that that's the one scene that they just.
Oh yeah,
came
they
out
plastered that
and
scene
plastered
everywhere.
it
It's fun.
all over.
Because
Bloody Disgusting shared it. It was on YouTube. The whole scene.
But
pretty
if you
much.
think about-
I think it was a 7-minute scene
7
of it.
minutes
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you think about it, though, it is weird that they would put like the whole scene out there. But if you think about it, though, it's probably the most gory scene, right? Because like anything
Yeah.
else that happens in the movie is fairly tame compared to that.
I'm thinking that was their way to try to get people to go watch it.
It's just weird that
Well,
it's
yeah,
a 7.
yeah.
Usually, you don't have horror movies putting an entire 7-minute scene out of anything in a movie, much less.
Well, I
You know.
didn't watch it because I don't want to watch that much
Want
of
to
any
see that,
movie before
yeah.
I'm about to go fucking see it.
Yeah, usually we don't do that, but it was on something, so
Like,
it got slipped, and I was like, "What?"
That's out of nowhere. I mean, it really was in the sense of like throughout the movie, it just kind of like, all right.
well, the reason why I say I see it the way I see it, whether it's I said all modern movies that do it this way, but not really. The modern movies that go cartoonish like this, I really do see it as like a left versus right dichotomy of let's get the MAGA tards or whatever, let's get the MAGA people.
Yeah.
Because of the ridiculousness of the scene. Because if you do it seriously, this movie isn't a serious movie, but if you're doing serious neo-Nazi scenes, you're doing something like American History X, or you're doing
Yeah,
Wrong
yeah,
Person,
yeah.
you're doing something
Yeah.
like that. You're not. This is just so ridiculously over the top that it's kind of like, take that, you Trumpers, or whatever.
Did you see? Did
I
you
don't think-
see? The cartoon series Creature Commandos, the first bit that James Gunn has done for DC.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
I think y'all would enjoy it if you watch it. But there's one
Creature
thing in there.
Commando?
Yeah, it's called Creature Commandos. It's based on the comic Creature Commandos.
Oh, okay.
You got Frankenstein. You got all these other monsters, the Bride of Frankenstein and stuff.
Oh.
And they're like a
Oh,
fight.
okay.
And they're like a fighting team of
A
heroes.
squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one scene in there that kind of reminded me of that. If you ever get around to watching it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But that one made more sense than this. And that it just kind of felt like, all right, well, that happened. All right, here we go, moving on. Then everything else is kind of tame compared to that. But I think all the politics or left, right, whatever you see in that, put that all to the side. It's a pretty good gore scene. But it is weird that they would just unleash it. Right.
The whole 7-minute scene.
Yeah, here's the whole fucking thing. I guess, like you said, well, I mean, if that was their ploy, let's release that out there and get people in here. I don't think it really worked because not that many people saw it. Yeah, I mean, I'm hard pressed to even think of anything else that stands out as far as like gore wise. I mean, there's some good stuff in here, and you get plenty of blood. There's a few things that stand out. I mean, a couple people's heads get exploded by shotguns, so that's pretty good. So, yeah, but that's the twist in the end is that like he's dying, and then he shakes her hand and then passes the spirit on to her. So now she has got his voice in her head, and that's pretty much how it's going to end. And somewhere in there, they play the song from the original, right? That what's the song?
Santa's watching. Santa's watching.
Yeah,
Santa's...
that's somewhere in there. So that's pretty good. I like the callback of the woman riding on the 4-wheeler, Ilsa, whatever. When she gets her head, that's the callback. The other one is the deer antlers.
Antlers, yeah.
Yeah.
Except that she wasn't nude like Linnea Quigley was.
No.
Or topless or whatever.
But if I remember who...
we didn't talk about that, but that's another thing, and that's just a modernity thing, too. They don't do... because you get these...
You mean the random nudity?
Well, just like the rape scene from the mom. Like that was just something that was part of 70s and 80s movies. Now they call that trigger warnings.
But you still... I think that depends on what the movie is. I
just mean they didn't do it in this movie. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like,
they didn't.
If you notice, I think if you notice the difference back then, you could put scenes like that in a movie that was kind of jokey. Now, when you see a rape scene in a movie, there ain't nothing jokey about it. Like it's handled more seriously, maybe. So,
well, it was handled like exploitation back then because that was just part of the horror genre. Like the fact that he like cuts her top off and her boobs fly out, whatever. Yeah. That was exploitation element. that they knew that they had to kind of like, we're going to hit this, we're going to hit that, we're going to get some, TNA here, or whatever.
They knew they had a certain quotient to hit. Like, all right, we need this, we need this, we need this, TNA, whatever, right?
Yeah,
need it.
And it wasn't frowned upon. It was just part of the genre back then, and nobody batted an eye at it, really. I mean,
unless
sure it was something over the top, like, well, unless it's like Last House on the Left, or I Spit on Your Grave, where it's like in your face, like multiple times throughout the movie. Then, I mean, but if it was like Silent Night, Deadly Night, hell, the rape wasn't even what. That wasn't even what the parents were pissed about. It was just the fact that Santa was killing people. And if it had been a slasher movie with that rape in it, would have been. I mean, there were plenty of them that went under the radar. That again, it wasn't I Spit on Your Grave.
Look, I ain't complaining. I didn't need to see Santa's baggy ass raping somebody again. So
no. I mean, but that adds to that movie as far as him being a piece of shit. That you're glad to see get killed off, but it also adds to the trauma that Billy suffers, and why he snaps and all that later. But
in this one,
so, I mean,
they switched a lot of that trauma though with supernatural.
Yeah.
So that was the.
Another thing too is another thing they love to do in modern movies and comics and all kinds of things. Really is flip the roles for the bad guy, good guy thing. So they kind of, they make it. He's a serial killer, really. I mean, he's really a serial killer.
He is,
but they flip it to where he's killing quote unquote bad guys, depending on who it is. You find out later that it's like the guy killed his wife, and okay, so he deserved it. So it's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like, let's make the bad guy the good guy, kind of. Yeah. Or I mean, in the original, he's the bad guy. I mean, he goes through trauma, and then it unleashes this. Santa Claus triggers him, and he
so a big portion of this movie, you're like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Why is he doing this? And then eventually, once you realize, like, oh, well, he has some kind of reason. Then you're rooting for him. You're like, go, killer, go. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, you're rooting for him. You want him to kill the guy at the end of the movie that's stealing children right down the ball. Eventually get there. So
yeah. But it's just weird to me. So then they throw in then it's kind of like a death wish a little bit. He's like a vigilante killer in a way. So I mean, there are so many things that get thrown into the pot, I guess.
Mike P. Nelson has seen a lot of movies. How about that?
Yeah. He's like a Tarantino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He likes to throw it all in there. But anyways, there you go. That's Silent Night, Deadly Night. Our next to last little bit of holiday fun here before we move on past the holidays. We got one more next week, and we'll tell you what that's going to be here in just a second. But before we do that, we have to give out our final ratings and all that. So, Smoke.
Wait a minute. Are we? Did we do the ratings before we do the gore score and all that?
Yeah, we always do.
Okay. Oh, no. I just had a brain fart there. I was thinking we haven't done the kill count.
We want to get to the main event right away. So, Smoke, you're the one that brought it to the table. You get to go first. What are your final thoughts?
Oh my God, I feel bad that I brought this to the table. Really, after
well, look, that's like I mentioned in our chat or whatever. That's the beauty of new movies, though, is you don't know what you're walking into. So sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. So, what do you say?
This one's bad for me, especially when you're following Shining with it. Because as we said in the beginning of this, we watched The Shining right before we went and saw this one. So
yeah, that's not optimal timing, no.
No. But even if I hadn't seen The Shining before I've seen this one,
yeah,
I didn't. I could start off by saying something positive about it. Like I said, at least it does have gore in it.
Yep.
Even the gore was kind of the scene that, like you were saying, that has a lot in it, like the axe scene with the Nazis or whatever.
Yeah.
The most goriest part of that was the disemboweling. I think that was in that scene, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody gets disemboweled. Yeah.
There's a bunch in there, like arms getting lopped.
There's a bunch of lopped off and axes, but it's all after a while. That's all just kind of, a lot of them though. He's just like chop, 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 in the back or here, and you don't really see it because there's so many of them that they can't show. They aren't going to show all 20 because that would just be.
Well, yeah,
that would just be ridiculous carnage of. I mean, it would just be, it would be too cartoonish if they showed all 20, really violent, this and that. So some of them are just like hack, hack, hack. You don't really see, you see it, but there's nothing really, just the axe in the back.
It's almost like they're self-policing themselves on too much gore. Like, we're going to give you plenty, but we're not going quite that far. So we'll pull back a little.
Plus, I mean, really, like I was saying, if you were to show 20 people in sequence getting killed, it would just be, you're like, okay, this is ridiculous at this point. You need time between kills or whatever. Yeah, like I said, they just had to kind of do a few of them real fast. So, but yeah, the ones that did get it, arms getting lopped off or legs getting lopped off or whatever, and disemboweling, and So that scene was actually, I thought there was more carnage, except for the disemboweling. I think there's more carnage in some of the other scenes. Even there wasn't that one, like the axe in the head of that guy, and some various other places like that.
Yes, that one with the dad that gets shot from behind, where his head just explodes.
Yeah.
The deer antlers.
The deer antlers.
There's probably a few others in them. But see, there's another. Before you continue, there's another unsatisfying thing. The end, the ball pit thing. That's unsatisfying in the sense of like, I know what they were trying to do. They're trying to that suspense. Who killed who? Because like he starts stabbing the guy, and then the dude starts stabbing him in the gut. So you don't know who's going to survive.
Yeah.
So I get the suspense thing, but it still sucks that you didn't see it.
Yeah.
You know, all this and you don't see it.
It's
you don't show
like
us the final kill. Yeah. It's like, whatever. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. And so yeah, that scene just becomes sort of too much at once. I mean, like I said, it's just you get a few good kills there, and then the other ones are just random hacks, right?
Yeah.
For 6 or 7 minutes long or whatever it is. Then what else? I guess that's about the only good positives I have for it is the because I hated the whole supernatural angle. I really, it would have been better for me if they just, like I said before, kept him in more. He was just coming unwound, and this is a voice in the head. And now he's schizophrenic psychopath.
Yeah.
That's I also didn't need the whole, I don't know, flipping. I know they're trying to make it different, right? You can't make it the same. I guess I just prefer the 80s style slasher rather than the moralizing thing of like, let's make him a Charles Bronson almost wannabe, not really though, because Bronson's much more badass than whatever. Turning him into like a vigilante Dexter, actually, that's the one thing you could say it's kind of like Dexter and
with venom in his head.
With venom in his head, yeah. So seeing all of this and seeing it all, it's just I get tired, that I'm not even a big fan of remakes in general. I mean, it really takes something these days for a remake and I can't even really think. I know there's been a few, but in memory right now, I can't think of a super great remake from 2010s, 2015s, 20s on. I really can't think of it.
I'm sure there's some
too. Well, I guess. Yeah, Nosferatu would be well, it's a weird one because it's really Dracula. But yet, it's still a remake of the Nosferatu. Well, I mean, we've gone down that path with
Frankenstein.
Talking about that before, but Frankenstein. We haven't done that on the show yet, but yes. I guess, again, though, that could be one of those things where, is it a remake or is it just a readapting of it?
It's just another, that's probably the better way of terming it. It's just another adaptation, yeah.
Although it is kind of, if you want to call that movie a remake, it would be more specifically a remake of the Frankenstein with Robert De Niro in it.
Yeah, Mary Shelley's right.
It's very much down those lines of that, like that one. So, but yeah, if you call that a remake, then yes, that was.
So the remake thing has already kind of got a mark against it for you there.
Yeah.
And then the other
especially
stuff.
At this point in time.
Yeah.
And they were just trying to do everything. They were throwing everything kitchen sink in there just about. So it becomes way too cartoonishly over the top for me. And I didn't enjoy it. I would never watch this again. I didn't even want to watch it this time. but we
kicking and screaming, you did it to yourself.
Oh god, yeah, really though. Coming from The Shining on IMAX to this, I'm like,
yeah. So what's the final? So what's your final call then? 0 through 5. What do you say?
I can't go much higher than a 0. I can't go any higher than 0.
I don't think that's possible. Flat. I don't think it's possible to go any lower than that.
Should we go minus? No.
Negative.
No, I'll never see this again. You know what? I didn't even think I didn't really like Silent Night from 2012. I know Tiana likes it.
I've got some
because it's different.
War scenes.
Yeah, that is a masterpiece to me compared to this now. Now, see, this is one of those movies that makes you. You know what I like best about this movie, besides some of the gore that was in there, the fact that it makes me go back and reevaluate other movies.
Yeah.
So now I have a newfound like for the 2012 Silent Night, just any other movie that came out after, say, 13 Ghosts remake. I hated 13 Ghosts remake when it came out, and I hated
That's the one that always. That's the one that always comes up. That and Ghost Ship or something from that show.
Yeah, or House on Haunted Hill. I didn't like that remake either. But seeing movies that were remakes in 2010 to 20, made me reappraise those late '90s ones more, and I actually I like those a little bit more now.
Ugh.
So if anything I could say about
That's a-
modernity,
I can see what
is
you're
it makes
saying,
me-
but that's a hard bridge to cross for me, buddy. That's some of that was ass.
you talk about like how well I mean how no House of
Ooh.
Wax never no
No, God damn
there's
it.
nothing
Fuck
that can
that
make House
movie.
of Wax remakes.
No,
But House on Haunted Hill is not too terribly bad. You know, the remake now that I've got some years and some other shit.
I'm sure. I mean, we'll see. We'll get there because
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. So on the surface, I agree, but we'll see. All right, Tiana, what do you say? Yes, we want you to say. This is what we're here for.
Okay.
This is what the people pay for.
Well,
By the way, this
I-
is a
I
free
held back.
podcast.
I held back on some of my stuff because, like I said, I'm not trying to go down the
I think
political
it's
path too
look.
much.
I think a zero says all, and that says enough. So, Tiana, what do you say?
I'm going to give it a 1 only because he's a good actor. Now, I don't like the choice that he made doing this, but the paycheck, I guess.
Well,
yeah, I
he
just
made
I
money.
feel like this guy just, took the Silent Night, Deadly Night and just drew all these other movies and TV show stuff in it and called it a day.
I will apply. So you said 1.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, we got the introduction of Minnesota Nazis, so there's that. Before I give mine, I'll tell you what Donnie said. He didn't give me any details, but he said he gave it 2 stars. Okay, that's probably about where I am. I didn't hate this movie. I didn't love this movie, but I think there's enough entertainment value in there just for pure gore's sake. I found myself at times though being a little bored of it in certain stretches of the movie. It's kind of like, all right, come on, let's just. It seemed a little bit too love story to me.
Oh yeah, that's why a lot of people, I guess we're calling it a Hallmark holiday slasher.
It just seemed a little bit heavier on the romance than I like.
Yeah.
But whatever. That is what it is. I think I'm going to go with Donnie, maybe for different reasons. I don't know, but I think there's enough entertainment here with the gore and everything. Not as much, it's not like on Terrifier levels of gore, but, in my mind, but there's still plenty here. Plenty of body parts, guts, gore, all that jazz. So I go 2 stars, but I do agree though that like I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again.
Yeah.
So there's that. So all right, so that gives us all the ratings combined with Smoke Zero and everything. That gives us a combined rating of 1.25 stars. So we don't necessarily recommend you see it. I guess if you're a fan of holiday horror and the Silent Night series, maybe go check it out one time, but that's probably about all you'd get out of it, honestly.
Yeah.
So there
I
you
feel
go.
like it's probably going to be streaming shortly anyway, within the next 2 months.
It wouldn't shock me if it shows up. Well, no, I was about to say Shudder, but no, it's a Screambox. So
yeah,
because of
okay.
Bloody Disgusting. Yeah, so it'll be on Screambox. What, by the end of January? You want to take bets?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we could reevaluate it. Maybe it'll climb up to 0.1.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe one day it could get a it could get a 1/4 star out of Smoke. You never know. All right, so there you go. Donnie's not here to give us his connections. He didn't send those in, but so that means Tiana, we'll start with you. What's the kill count that you can find for this?
It was like 33, but I really think it was a little bit more.
Yeah, if nothing else, in the Nazi barn scene, there'd have to be.
I know more than 40 though.
I think there was
even though that's a lot.
No, that's plenty.
Wasn't there 20 in that one scene in the Nazi barn?
There had to have been at least something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go with 33, and I guess if we ever find an amendment, we'll swing back around.
Oh yeah, well, because at least when we do the reevaluations anyway.
Yeah. Well, if we see some other number before then, or actually go in and recount it, then we'll find out. Otherwise, 33. Let's talk about the kill reel.
Highlight kill.
I don't know. I mean, because like I was even sitting there thinking about it as I'm watching it. I'm like, there's a lot of good ones here, but I don't know if there's one that stands out. Like one. I guess I'll just go with the bloodbath scene in the barn, but that's just because of just holy shit, I guess I got to go with that because I can't. Any of the other ones would just be like, oh shit, the guy, like the dad that gets his head blown off with the shotgun. It's like, whoa, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing stands out. Nothing stands out to me. Like nothing in particular. There's no inventive. There is some creativity, I guess, but nothing inventive. They're not remaking the wheel here with in a violent nature. You know what I mean? Like that. It's nothing. Nothing. So I mean, I guess I'll just go with that. The mass killing in the barn scene. So all right, Smoke. You've already kind of gone through it a little bit, but we'll let you do it one more time for the gore score.
Gore score.
Yeah, I guess it's plenty of axe killing. There was a chainsaw kill, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
There's a chainsaw death.
Wasn't there like a montage when you mentioned that? Wasn't there like a montage?
I guess so. Somewhat of a montage
where he's like running around with the chainsaw, and then he's running around like he's using different instruments in the axe or something like that. It seems like there's a scene in there where it's kind of a super cut.
That kind of reminded me a little bit of American Psycho, slightly. Just except he wasn't naked. He's wearing.
yeah. Even more, even another movie.
Another reference. And there's the disemboweling scene talked about in the barn. Yeah. One of the carnage scenes in the barn, and the decapitation of Ilsa.
Yeah,
I don't know what her name was, but I call her Ilsa. The Shrivel VSS. So.
You're right. Yeah, if you had to boil it down to one kill there, that might have been the one.
Yeah, and it's probably also due to it's mainly due to the homage to the first movie because they did do a good job of him being where he was at and coming out from behind the tree thing, and it instantly puts you right there to the first one. Like, but even though it's a different angle, because the other one, I feel it wasn't the angle of the sled coming down the hill in the original movie, and then he jumps out from in front of the sled and chops his head off.
Steps out in front of it. And
kind of a different angle, but he still kind of comes out from a tree just like that. So it instantly makes you think of the first movie. So that was a good the way they shot that, I guess.
Yeah.
And the decapitation itself or whatever. So yeah, I guess that was a cool scene. That was, and then the antler scene. You get another antler scene. That's I don't think it's as good as the first one. Personally, I like the first one because he like lifts her up into it. So like, of course, it's Linnea Quigley. Then she's topless, right? So
plus two. Remember it was now I'm all remembering it. It was a flashback scene. Remember, it was the mom that treated him like his foster mom that treated him like crap.
Yeah.
And then he pushes. Right. So it's almost like it was kind of an accident.
Yeah. It's not at all like the first one. I mean, It is like the first one in that it's an antler kill. So of course it's like the first one, but it's not the same situation.
Yeah.
The axe to the head scene, like the guy that killed his wife in the basement. Did you find out that guy getting the axe in the head, and then somebody else? There's a couple people. There's another one that gets axe in the head, right? Can't remember.
There's more than one. Yeah,
more than one. Yeah, I mean, of course, during the barn scene.
Yep.
Well, but there's another one I thought that gets it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, there's a guy under the car that he chops and then drops the car on him because he had the car. Remember the guy that worked on the car, and he had the jack with his car jacked up, and then he chops him, and he's like,
I didn't like that kill because it seems like you should have used the car.
Yeah. It's like he killed him, and then he used the car.
Yeah. Yeah, like it seems like to me what he should have done is take the axe and hit the jack, and then make the car fall on him. Boom.
Yeah, and then you show that the car, and then you show his body splatters blood.
That's the kill, not hit him with the axe and then drop the car on him.
Yeah, and then really the kill wasn't all that great because he just chops him and the blood splatters on the car.
Yeah, yep.
And then he drops it. You don't see it. You don't really see it drop on him. I mean, you see the car. You see him close up, and he pulls the lever on the jack and says "naughty," right?
Yeah,
and then. And the car drops in the background. You hear the thunk. That's it. So that's a really wasted kill scene there. Yeah. Even though it would have been cool, but whatever.
It's pretty bad though when I can sit there and critique the kills. Like, I don't think I would have killed him that way. I would have done it this way. Anyways, final score there. What 0 through 10? What do you say?
I'll give it an 8. If it doesn't quite get a 10 from me. Although there are some scenes. There's a lot of overall carnage. But like I said, I think there was some missed opportunity. The car scene that we just mentioned was a missed opportunity. You would almost expect more carnage in the barn scene, even though there already was a good amount. But again, it gets repetitive because it's just him going through with an axe and
Yeah.
Randomly, but limbs do fly off, and then the disemboweling, and then of course the conclude the climax of that scene when he chops off Ilsa's.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know her name, but chops off Ilsa's head, whatever I'm
Yeah.
just gonna call her. And
Well, there you go.
wasn't she on a snowmobile?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that what she was on?
yeah. I think it
Snowmobile,
was either that or a 4-wheeler. One or the other.
Quad, yeah.
It was a quad.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she's going down the path and
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
I think I'll amend it to go to that instead of just that whole scene. I'll just go to that because that's one of the ones. Yeah, yeah. I think I'll just stick with that because that's probably one of the ones that stand out now that I think of it. But
yeah, like I said, it's such a great homage. That is a great homage to the first.
It
movie,
is. It is. Yeah.
They do it the same kill, the same thing of him coming out from behind a tree. Again, instantly it flashes in your head the first movie, but it's a different situation. You know what I mean? It's different vehicle, even though it's just basically the same shit. But and then didn't he chop her head off, sort of bisected her where the mouth was?
Yeah, he kind of caught her in the mouth.
On the ground. Like,
like here, yeah.
So that was cool. That was slightly different too, because in the original one, he chopped it off at the neck, and his head goes rolling down the hill.
Yeah. And then you did get the light chuckle out of the guy 2 seats from me for garbage day. So there's that.
Yeah.
In the end, we got that. All right, there you go. So that's Silent Night, Deadly Night. So that, the last 2 weeks we've been down this rabbit hole, so we're done with that. But we're not done with the holidays, and we're not done with Santa just yet. Because next week, I forget. Oh, this was a wild card pull. Wild card, bitches. Santa Claus from 1959. That's what we'll be talking about next week, and this will wrap up our holiday horror for this year. What a way to end it, huh?
Yeah, and I really feel like that movie should be called something other than just Santa Claus.
Yeah,
it doesn't really encapsulate everything about that movie. But we'll
get into that next week. Yeah, but like there is a reissue title basically that's just called Santa Claus versus the Devil, right? So
that's much. Yeah, that's a little better.
A little bit. Yeah, and I think that is why it kind of leans more on our horror spectrum, and we'll get into that next week. But
yeah,
so that's why it kind of got pulled, and that's what we're going to be doing to wrap up the holidays, and then. Next week we'll talk about what's coming up at the end of the year and at the beginning of 2026. Before you know it, we'll be right there. So, for Donnie who couldn't join us, Tiana, Professor Smoke, I'm Josh. We are the All American Spook Show. We'll talk to you next week.
Please replace the speaker on its rack when you're ready to leave. Failure to do so will damage both the speaker and your car. We'll be grateful, and so will the patrons who follow you.